Hi, friend. Hi, friends. How's everyone doing today?
Woo! Party.
We are already on our 7th episode. Lucky 7. Like, we're covering season 5, but
I
we're
know in my
on
head I was like,
episode
this
7.
is what we talk about every single
I
time.
know.
We are
do this-
on our 7th episode. We are covering season 6.
Yes.
Lucky number 7.
No, we're covering season 5.
Shoot, we are covering
Yeah,
season 5.
season 5. We're not on 6 yet.
We're not on 6 yet.
Not on 6 yet. So, I mentioned in the last episode that season 5 is one of my favorites, along with season 3. I loved season 5, and I forgot how much I loved season 5. So I'm excited to get into this one today. But I have our favorite trivia, like I've done the last 2 episodes. So I'm curious to see if this is something that you knew or that you know at home. But the show was originally supposed to be set in Illinois.
Where did you hear this?
I've read it online, and it actually is true. They changed it to North Carolina because originally, when they pitched the show, they wanted it to have more of like that 8 Mile type of feel. So they were thinking like Chicago City basketball. That's what they were thinking.
Okay.
But they felt like it wasn't the right tone.
It needed to be more small towny.
More small town, more like welcoming, and like they felt like the city scene would have been too harsh for the storyline. Yes, that they were trying to sell. So yeah,
I did not know that.
I didn't know it either. I was reading it on time.
Point?
Yeah,
Gross.
I know. I'm glad they went a different route. I mean, they didn't film there at all. They just, when they were pitching the idea, they originally had it set there. And then somebody was like, oh, I'm just not feeling the city vibe. And then they went and was thinking like, what other areas could we use? And then they were thinking about Dawson's Creek was coming to an end. That was a great area, small town. So it kind of just made sense to film there. So yeah. So that's our fun trivia for the day.
I never would have known.
I didn't
Now
know
I
it.
know. And I'm going to win some like $1 million question about Montreal one day.
Yeah.
Like,
Who knows the original setting of what it was supposed to be? You're going to be like, I know.
I know.
Yeah, what is that from? I was just playing in my head. Yes, it's when Monica takes the class.
Monica, you asked the question.
Oh, man. Okay.
So we started off with lows for season 4. Do we want to start off with highs?
Yeah, I mean, I have so many highs. I also have like a paragraph on just one of the episodes. Like I told you, the season 5 was it kind of was like a new like season.
Show.
It was like a new season 1 for me. Like that's how it felt. It felt like brand new. It felt like there was like the old magic, but still like some new magic. And so I really enjoyed season 5. And I shocked myself.
All right, well, let's get into it.
Okay.
Need to listen.
So my first high was I loved how they worked in the present and the past stories for the first episode. They did also do it throughout the season, but I felt like just the first episode itself, just to bring it all back in, like they skipped ahead now 4 years and so many days. I don't know how many days it was, but off the top of my head. But yeah, I liked that they did the time jump, and that was my first high. So yeah.
All right. That is a good high. Mine, they're not in any particular order, so I feel like I'm gonna jump really far ahead in a season.
No, go for it.
But the shock of Nathan, even in his voice, when Haley says she wants a divorce.
Ooh.
Like they've just pulled Jamie out of the pool. He's breathing. She says, I want a divorce. He goes, hey, like the sound in his voice is so authentic of just shock. Like he did that so well.
Yeah, the acting was like on par for season 5 from a lot of characters. I thought the acting was really well done. There was a lot of emotion. And again, I think that's why it tied into the season 1 magic of it all, was that it was like dramatic, funny, romantic, sad. It was just all different things going on. But yeah, I agree. Jamie with a big heart. Just Jamie.
Jamie is a good one.
Just Jamie.
I have broken Jamie.
I have broken Jamie as well.
Yes.
I also have Yes, I have Brooke and Jamie as well. Sorry.
Yes. I have Brooke and Jamie, and then I also like Jamie and the Keeps, and Jamie and
Just Jamie. Instead of just Nike, we're going with just Jamie.
just Jamie.
Just Jamie.
Just Jamie.
That's all I need. That's all I need.
Okay, my next one is Quickfields, all caps.
Yes. He wasn't like listed on my highs like as a specific reason for anything, but just what he brings to the show, I agree that he is a high, and it was bringing in that nostalgia of season one again, of having that joke of an athlete, big
Very
time.
neat.
Like, yeah,
Okay, so you said it, he wasn't a high over. He's in highs, but he wasn't a
he's
high
in highs.
over.
He wasn't on my list, but it wasn't. It was more so because like I just didn't think like anything major happened with him yet this season. I think like I mean it did and it didn't. I don't know. I feel like there's more to come
Later.
with his storyline a little bit later down the road. So I think that's why I just didn't make my list overall. But I like it. So I'm here for it. I put Peyton and Brooke's friendship as a high because it felt very like we got past all the shit that we went through as a kid, and just like Peyton now wanting to be there for her when we find out about like Brooke and Victoria, like that's her mom. And just like I even wrote down, I think at some point, like when Peyton's always like ripping into her mom, like with the one liners, like I'm like, yeah, here it is. Peyton giving jabs back at Victoria. Like I loved it. So, um, yeah, I just like to see that the season was kind of revolving around their friendship again. So I really liked that. That's one of my guys. So, yeah.
The library episode where they're all stuck in the library
Okay, so
is a high for me.
yes, that was on here somewhere as well.
I liked it because
Episode 9. I wrote episode 9, magic. That's what I wrote.
oh, yes.
I said it felt nostalgic, but yet brand new at the same time.
Yes. They were back in high school, back in the it's kind of coming full circle. They've clearly been adults. They've gone to school. They are now in their careers, trying to find themselves and to kind of go back and being kids again. The whole being stuck in the questions that they're asking themselves, the whole Peyton and Lindsay dynamic, and like Peyton realizing like she'll cross the line and Lindsay having to like rehash how her dad died, and just the humanity of it all, kind of.
And that was another episode, like you're saying with the humanity, that was another episode where it felt like they were hitting you with all different emotions throughout it, because it had those hard moments that they were talking about, but then it also had the lighthearted
Funny
moments
moments with them
with
goofing
like,
off.
yeah, and like Tim
Yes.
delivering the pizza that they
pizza.
ordered, and Mia singing the song about her big feet or whatever it was, or no, she was re-singing the song about Peyton.
Yes.
But it started with the criticism online about her feet stink or something like that. But I also like, wasn't that the episode too where like they get the new uniforms and they walk down the hallway? So like I liked that moment. So yeah, it's just I literally wrote episode 9 magic. That's all I wrote. The only there was a low though from that episode. There was one low I had. And my low was not the overall message of what Mouth ended up doing for his story, but my problem is that he was there to report about the game, and yet he was nowhere to be found in the gym at any point in that episode. Like he was always in like the media room or in the hallway, and I'm like, are you even watching the game? Like I was very confused by like, what is your role? Like I know you're looking for the story, but like they just barely, they didn't even show him in the gym, I feel like. Or maybe at like one point they did.
I completely forgot what he even was doing there until you said looking for the story. And I remember him being, okay, Mal, let's find the story.
Yes.
Find the story.
Yeah. But like they never showed him in the gym watching the game while it was going on.
He's not trying to find the story.
So I was like, where is the story?
Where's the story?
So yeah, that was my only low about that episode. But everything else about it I thought was magic, is what we wrote. So my next high was, a lot of my highs came like right away in the beginning of the season. When Peyton used the line on Lucas, your art matters. It's what got me here. Because he did it to her, and now she did it to him with the book. And so that line, it hits every time. So I liked it.
It's every time.
This is actually where I actually started to root for Lucas and Peyton. Like for real, started to root for them. Because I never rooted for them in their early seasons.
Oh yeah.
So this is where I kind of was like, I didn't really like Lindsay. I knew why she was there. I knew what it meant for the show and why they needed to do it, um, but I didn't like her character at all.
I will say I liked Lindsay. I wasn't a fan of Lindsay, but I liked Lindsay because you could just tell how much she cared for Lucas. And she was like, you're always going to be more like Lucas Dickinson is going to be like a small town basketball
Yeah.
coach or whatever.
Yeah.
Get over yourself. But you will always be more than a small time basketball coach. Like just the way that she wanted to lift him up and to make him feel important and to show that their life might not be grand. It might not be an NBA player, but it still mattered and it still had value. So I did like that part of her. But I didn't like, obviously, for the Peyton and Lucas fans.
Agreed.
So I put Mia. But I'm going to say 2 back to back because they're kind of tied to another. I liked the interaction of Mia. I liked how they found her. Kate Vogel, love that whole thing. I like that she was then interwoven into the group. Like she wasn't just an artist that they were working with. Like she really became a part of the group, especially in the later seasons and going on double dates with Nathan and Haley. And doing all of that. So I liked that. But then my next one is the bloopers. So I don't know if you've ever seen the blooper reels from that particular season.
Okay.
They're hilarious.
Yeah, I've never watched them.
I will sometimes just pull them up on YouTube because they're so funny to me.
Okay.
So
I'll have to do that sometime. I've never done it. Okay.
Well, because on the DVDs, the bloopers were on the DVDs, and so like you could go through like the gag reel basically and watch it. And, there were a bunch of those that I loved. Which leads into my third. I'm going to jump to 3 because they're all kind of tied in together.
Okay.
Because some of them are around like Mia and
go for it. I'm not stopping you.
Federline.
Oh,
he was a high for me just because it was so awful. It was good.
No, I get it. He was also like just the fact that he was like even.
Why relevant. Was he the cameo?
But also like he was relevant, but like for no reason. Yes. He was relevant during that time, but I don't know why.
Spears.
Yes, but like it's just.
I don't know why that was the bad boy that we decided. And apparently they talk about in the podcast too that he's like nothing like the character he played. So
yeah.
Even funnier.
Yeah, for sure. That's funny.
He was a high for me.
Okay. I mean, he wasn't a high for me. He also wasn't a low for me. He was just there.
He was just
there for me. So back to now another female in Lucas's life, because Peyton did the whole "Your art matters," but then I also love the moment when Brooke said, Lucas is going to change the world someday. Like that she used that line on him. So it was really nice to see now the women turning around and trying to uplift him because he needs it. He needs that encouragement to like keep going with his writing. So I really liked that. And then I also feel, so I'm going to jump ahead a little bit just because then that kind of ties in because we've been talking about now Peyton, Brooke, we brought up Lindsay. I'm going to jump to the cliffhanger of the end of the episode as a high for me because I feel like
the season 1 or like,
no, season 5.
But what episode?
The last episode of the season.
Oh, the last.
I'm jumping to the end of the season for a quick second.
I'm tracking.
And it's the cliffhanger of who did he call to go, like, because this whole season, it kind of set up all of those relationships again of like, I think we all know it's Payne, but at the end of the day, it's like, it could still be Brooke. It could still be Lindsay. Like, he created these relationships with these 3 women. And I think that goes to say, they always say there's that line of, like, you have like 3 great loves of your life.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I really think that they put that into season 5. And I loved to see that it could have gone either way with any 3 of those women.
Yep.
I think we all knew in our hearts it was going to be Payne, but like, I liked that they set that up that way. And I liked the cliffhanger of that.
So I'm going to go a step further and to jump into season 6 a little bit. The first episode of season 6, where you get to see what those lives would have been like.
I know, that's on my notes for the next that week for that season.
Like, and Lindsay is super cute, and then it goes to Holden and Brooke, and you're like, that makes sense too.
Like, you really could see him living his life with any 3 of those women. So that's what I really liked about it.
So I like that too, because you're right, throughout the whole entire season of 5, it's him kind of building that. Like, you see him and Brooke in the city together, and you see him come alongside Brooke with the baby and all that other stuff. And then you kind of see towards the end, you kind of see him and Peyton kind of like mend their brokenness because after Lindsay left him, he was pretty awful and like having to repair that.
Yeah.
Um,
I also felt like those little lines that Brooke would say about like what she would say to Peyton, like, I've been the other girl on the love triangle and we all know how this is gonna end. But her also saying those lines almost made it feel like there is still that chemistry there. Like that threat is still there because she still thinks about it.
yeah,
And I'm sure he still thinks about it too because he cares for her,
we find out about that
So
later too. That Brooke hasn't had a relationship since Lucas, so like that tie is still obviously there.
yes. Um, so yeah, so that was it. That was two of my highs because they kind of went together. Trying to see if anything. And then I'm just gonna tie this one in, even though it had nothing to do with that, but just because he has a connection with Brooke, Chase coming into the mix for a little bit, and then like him and Peyton having that fun, flirty interaction. I was like, that actually could have been a little fun for a little while. Just to see what could have came of it, maybe for an episode or two. But I don't know, I just kind of liked it.
I had that as one of my highs when Owen finds out about Brooke and Chase in the car.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
He's like, wait a minute.
Also
No.
on my notes, hello, Owen.
Yeah. I did like Owen. That is
I
also
liked-
one of my highs.
I liked Owen up until the baby situation.
Yes.
But he redeems himself in the next season about
He does to an extent
Yeah.
because he explains why, and that's a valid reason.
Mhm.
But then when Sam goes missing and he just kind of, well, she's just a teenager, she'll come back. What are you so worried about?
Then
It's
it
like
went-
that's it.
Yep.
That's why.
that's why.
That's why.
That's why
you
you're
don't
not
like
the
it.
guy. That is why. So yeah. So I had Mouth and Millie.
I didn't. I said Millie and Mouth relationship.
That was a good one.
I like when she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's the hot guy from last night," and Mouth walks in and Brooke's like, "Step aside, honey,"
Yeah.
and doesn't see him
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
Hot guy coming through.
And then when
Huh?
and then when she's like, she puts it together and she's like, oh.
Yes.
That,
And then I
when
love
you just
her
said that,
helping-
oh, that
Oh.
felt like that meme that you sent me.
And also, I like that Brooke held Mouth accountable for him sleeping with his boss. And she's like,
Yes.
when you find the boy that I know, give him. She's
Mhm.
like, either use it or use it as an out.
Um, Skills putting Haley in her place about the whole Nathan thing. That was a high for me.
Skills?
Yes. So there's the party episode where they're celebrating
His birthday.
his birthday,
Okay.
and all he wants to do is play Guitar Hero
Yep.
with his family because he saw it in the store and how the family was happy,
Yes.
and that's all he wanted. And Haley just kept brushing it off. Nathan was trying to. He just kept saying like maybe later, but Haley was the one who just kept pushing it off.
Yeah.
And now
Skills.
Skills came in and was just like, listen, I never forgot how little that boy is. I forget sometimes though because his heart is so big. And that moment I was just like, yeah, tell her Skills because regardless, yes, the optics, she didn't know what went down with the nanny. Nathan obviously encouraged it, but at the end of the day, this is your son's birthday. Put it aside, celebrate your kid, go back to the drama later. So I like that he put her in her place. So
I had my last high that I have written down was Brooke in the adoption.
okay.
It's also a low for me as well. But the part again where she finds her voice and she goes, "I am one in a million. I am gonna be the difference to that kid. I am going to work hard at
Yes.
this." Like,
So I have two more things, but my last one is really long, and that's going to be my paragraph long. I'm just going to bam, 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 bam. But before we get to that, so my other high is, I hate to say it, but you really start to see the change in Dan this season. And I don't mean like, yeah, I know. I knew you were going to make that face. What? I mean, like, he's starting to understand the hurt that he put onto everybody. He's starting to understand it. Not that he's going to change, but I could see in his actions, he was starting to understand. He's still being selfish and saying like, when are you going to forgive me? When can I have a relationship with you? You know, obviously he's still acting selfish, but I feel like there's still moments in his behavior that we're starting to see in this season that he is trying to be better. Like when he goes to find Jamie and he brings him back home, which that is going into my next high. So my high, that's the paragraph long, is the 100th episode. So that was the mid-season finale. And these are all the things that I was like, this is why it's a high. And it's because it takes you through all the things. Okay. So I had Lucas, Haley, and Jamie starting out with that Bruce Springsteen song in the beginning. Magic. Loved it. Then letting him, like, Jamie driving himself, Haley telling Lucas he can't marry Lindsay, knowing his writing is about Peyton again. Karen, Andy, and Lily returning. That was great. Dan getting ready, giving it that, oh my God, feeling like, why is Dan in a suit? What's he going to do at the wedding? Because you think he's going to do something. So that was like a shocker. Then you have Karen reuniting with Brooke and Peyton in the Clothes Over Bros store. And like just having that moment was great. Then the nanny Carrie of it all, you see her and you're like, oh my gosh, she's in the pew. Like, what's going to happen? Then
It's also really creepy in that episode because he's like, everybody loves a wedding. Wow.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So there was the nice happy moments. There was the suspenseful moments, and I'm just like, oh my God, this episode's taking me on a whirlwind. Then Lindsay realizing about the comet because she sees the comet, and then all the flashback scenes were brilliant. I said I knew Dan would rescue them. That was another high. I knew it. Like once it got to that moment, I was like, I knew he's gonna handle it. And then just that last moment of Jamie running in and the dramatic moment of everyone seeing Dan. Like with the music playing the way it was, I was like,
well, yeah, because
the
he
episode
runs
was
in and
crazy.
everybody is like, oh my gosh, it's Jamie.
But then they're like, oh my God.
But then there's
Dan.
someone else behind him. And
I
oh
know.
my gosh, and then they all, they do pan to everybody and everybody is.
It's just, they're just, their faces were just, it was brilliant acting. Everyone in that episode. Bravo. Bravo. Took me on a ride.
Flowers.
So yeah, that was my final high. Just that whole episode in itself. It was an amazing episode. As it should be for the 100th one. So. But then I had to look that up. I was like, that had to be like a mid-season break. And it was because I was like, of course they're going to leave it like that because you're going to be like, well, now what's going to happen when they come back? Yeah. So yeah, that was some good highs.
But yes, season 5, there was some pretty solid magic.
Yeah. And so that's what I mean about the whole Dan situation. Like, obviously we hate him. We do to our core. We all don't like Dan because of what he did. But at the same time, it's like,
he's trying.
There's still a human in there somewhere. And like you start to see it more in this season. And then obviously they're just to take that character now in this direction, I feel for the second half.
I also feel in the second half of the series, like you said, like there's going to be, I don't think it's season 5, I think it's season 6, Dan goes to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just see the hurt and the grief and the shame.
Yeah.
Just all kind of boil out of him. Yeah. Because he wants Whitey to end it for him, essentially.
Yep.
Again.
Yeah.
So then, and I've same thing in hearing him cry in 4 and him going to Whitey. Like, there's, like you said, there's still that human that's in there. There's still a little boy that's hurt in there.
Yes. Which caused all these actions. Again, not excusable, but
Royal Scott is your dad. I don't. Good gracious.
All right, so that was it for my highs and your highs. I guess we get into the lows now.
I guess I will start. Yeah. And I am going to start with the Rachel storyline. What? Yeah. Why would you do this to this poor girl? Like, what was the purpose of her being addicted to drugs? What was the purpose of Owen having to slap her in the shower? Again, I think that all comes back to the producer, but I hated that storyline. I hated that she went back and, didn't actually change. She was just trying to change and then stole all that money from Brooke, and then we don't see her again until 7.
I mean, I think the whole point of it was because we find out finally, like, from the first episode, who Victoria was telling her to fire.
Yes.
Like, that was where it all tied in. So I get it where, like, Rachel felt abandoned, but it still just felt too dramatic to shoot the way that they did, like, the whole scene.
And,
like,
if it was Victoria...
Yeah.
And Victoria comes in and gives her a new one, basically. At that point, I feel like everybody knows Brooke's mom is terrible. And so why wouldn't I just feel like if I know that this person's terrible and is not saying true things about unless she comes in and says this to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, because
why wouldn't I go to Brooke and be like, is this true?
Well, because Brooke did fire.
Well, right, yeah.
So she felt like Brooke abandoned her. So like, I get what you're saying, but then I also get, I don't know.
I
I
see
get what
both
you're saying.
sides,
Yeah.
but I didn't like the storyline that they gave her.
No, I agree. I felt like it was just like putting her in there just to put her in there. Like it just didn't feel like it
She was
brought
an
anything
object.
to the season. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if they did it, but then like kept her around and then like built on her character, I think that was the problem with her is that they just kept bringing her
She
in and
never
out from that point.
changed.
Yeah. They
Even
just,
her talking to Mouth and like
mhm,
reverting back into the like, let's just make out type of
yeah.
thing. And Mouth was like,
Well, and even when she disappears again, and then when she comes back, she's with Dan. It's like, it just the whole thing. It's like every time she comes in and out, it's never a new, she never changes. Like you said, she does the same thing. Yeah. So I think that's why it's frustrating her storylines because we love her. Like I like her as an actress. I think she does a really good job. Uh, but yeah, I also love her. Ooh, she's married to, he's hot. But um, I had Nathan's accident as a low for me.
same.
Um, but I think I'm going to change my perspective a little bit on it. I think it's a low because we hate to see him in that light and what it brought out of him. However, I just had this conversation with my family the other day. We were talking about because we watch a lot of football in my house. Um, so we were talking about how there's so many injuries, and then there's a recent player who he was recently in the league, but he just took his life. But here we go again. We're talking about this, but there are players that we've seen pass post their career that they don't know how to handle sometimes just having a normal life. And I just feel like they go from high school to playing college without getting an education. Some actually get the education. Majority of them do not. They just go and they play and they skate by, then they go into the pros. And then it's like when their career is over and you have a career ending injury and you can't play anymore, it's like these guys don't want to come back and play. So it all came up because there was this guy who was on the Packers who I used to love as a player. He went to the Ravens. Now he got traded to the Eagles, but he's been injured this whole time. He hasn't played in over a year. And it's like, he said he's retiring because, but again, it's like, I think it just puts your life into perspective. It's like, what am I going to do? So I think Nathan was just so low that he was just like, what am I doing now without basketball? Because you just don't know anything else.
What also happened at, so having athletes in our family as well,
Yeah.
and being friends with a bunch of athletes, like you said, you go from high school to college to maybe a professional sport, and then you stop playing that sport, and now you're no longer as regimented. You don't have to follow as strict of rules, and you're kind of left with, well, what do I do with my time now? And so I think um, very adamantly, the disabled community is a community anyone can join at any time. There's no, anyone can get injured. And so I think, especially for an athlete where that is your entire being, it is
Mhm.
who you do. You wake up, you go to the gym, you go to practice, you have a community with your teammates
Yep.
to then have an injury that seemingly was preventable.
Yeah.
Because Nathan takes on a lot of his, that injury happened because he didn't know when to
Yeah.
walk away. He didn't know when to walk away.
His ego got him
Yes.
got to play. And
And it happened the night before he was going into the thing that he had worked so hard for, the thing that he went to Maryland. He goes to Maryland State, right? Is that where he goes in the show? He plays.
is that what it was
Is it
called?
Maryland? I want to say it's Maryland, but I don't know.
I mean, I don't remember now.
He
I
plays
don't.
for a community college because he didn't go to Duke. He works his way
Yeah.
through, finally gets signed on to the team, and then his ego gets the best of him. And so, like, I get the low of it, but I also hate how they handled it. That's one of my lows too, because I also hate how Haley approaches him in it.
Mhm.
Because she's like, you have a son who loves you and you have all of these things and you can get up and walk if you want. And it's been 3 months or 4 months. It was a really short amount of time. And I
Yeah.
was like, this, he just lost a core part. What happened if you broke your hand and couldn't play the piano anymore? Like, you would feel just as bad. So
Yeah.
I just didn't like the whole dynamic, and it didn't feel like there was enough grace for him to work through the
Mhm.
emotions, even though he was working through them negatively. There wasn't
Yeah.
space.
And maybe we feel that way about it being a low because we're getting jumped into that storyline versus like it.
Like we didn't see the whole thing.
Exactly. So it may feel harsh that way if we're seeing it that way because it's just thrown right in our face right away. Because a few episodes later, he snaps out of it and he's trying to get up out of the chair and he's trying to walk
He
and
remembers he's
be there for
yeah,
Jamie.
yeah.
So he remembers that. But again, I think, like you said,
I
it's
also hate
just it needed a pause apparently.
it did. But I understand both sides of it. Ending up in a wheelchair does not mean your life is over.
Yes. Yeah.
Would it be difficult and would it be different? But that's also the thing, like he had the ability to be rehabilitated. He didn't have to stay in the chair.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Amy was trying to get across. Like, you don't have to choose this. The doctor said that you have the ability to rehab yourself. So
Yes.
people don't have that choice.
Mhm.
But also, I just didn't like the personification of like, well, he's in a wheelchair, so his life is over and his life's falling apart, and all he can do is drink, and he's not going to contribute to
No,
society.
I completely agree with you.
I was like, what?
Just knowing, you with your situation, obviously having my father who, has kind of handicapped his entire life as well. Um, I have always had these conversations with my family, and I always feel like I think like when you have the ability to do everything and then you lose it, I totally get that reaction.
100%.
However, yes, you are right. Life does go on. Now you need to adjust. Now you need to fix it. And so I think because I grew up around somebody who had those limitations and I saw him overcome it. And then, I've seen what you do for yourself and for your family. And I'm just saying, like, I've had good examples and I've been around it. And so, like, would it be hard if I were to lose the ability to do something? Yes. But I think I've had a support system around me to figure it out. But I feel like,
To pivot.
yes. But I also understand that reaction as well, because I would
100%.
probably feel that way as well. I'd be like, what am I supposed to do now? You know what I mean? So I totally get it. But yes, I agree. Like, it isn't the end of the world. You are still living. You are still breathing. And I think now that goes back to now Haley saying, you have all these things. So
Right.
like, figure it out. So
Figure it out.
harsh, but also like warranted at the same time. So it's a little bit of a mix of a high and a low between that storyline.
Yes.
I wrote that I hate Nanny Carey.
I said Nanny Carey, but then I also wrote, but also sort of love.
Yeah, like I think we needed that storyline.
That's why I wrote it. You were
So
correct.
I think we needed that storyline. There needed to be something dramatic to happen.
But it also showed that situation happens all the time.
All the time.
And it brought a realness to Nathan and Haley's marriage, and then having to go to counseling and having to work through it and to address those insecurities.
Oh my God, the counseling. Hold on.
Oh.
No, I'm
Uh-oh.
about to get livid about the counseling for like a hot second. Okay. Okay. That therapist, the actress who plays that therapist, she was the mom in Home Alone 3. Okay. Home Alone 3. I love that movie. It's different from the Macaulay Culkin. Like they went a totally different storyline. I don't know if you've seen it, but I had to look up that actress because I'm like, she is not British. Like
they talk about that in the podcast. Why did they make her British?
Yes.
Why would there be a British woman in Tree Hill?
But also, just why are we making her British to begin with? Like,
Later sound smarter. Made her give authority, like she was talking about.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I'm like, I know who this was. It's different. Like if, like she's like played in other roles and like she was putting on the American accent, and maybe that's her real voice. Like, cool, I can get on board with that now. But I think just knowing who she is and like knowing she's not British, I'm like, this is driving me nuts. I cannot.
Do we know? Jumping ahead.
But she did a good job because I did question it. Like, wait, maybe she is. Let me look it up because I just don't know.
I don't know. Do we know if Erin is really Irish? The girl on the leaders?
Yes, I believe she is. Yes. Yeah, you mentioned the therapist, and I was like, that livid. I was like, why? Why is she British? It drove me nuts. So,
I'll say mine. My next one would be Lucas. In saying that, Peyton said no. She never said no.
I wrote Lucas proposing to Peyton, but in my head, I was like, preposterous. Why are you even proposing to her right now?
Yes, it's one, it was poor timing, and two, she never She never said no.
It felt desperate. I think that's why I didn't
Yes.
like it. It felt desperate.
His proposal was a desperate plea.
And she felt that way too.
Yeah, she said, we haven't seen each other in months, and then you fly out to LA?
But this is also the issues with Lucas and why everyone says Lucas is the worst, because it's always why me, why me. Like it's always a pity party with him. And it's like, just because you don't get what you want doesn't mean that it's like the end of the world.
Yeah.
But he acts like it is.
Yeah.
So
He even says when he does, you're saying no. No, I'm not saying no. I'm saying we're not at a point in our lives where this makes sense.
yeah, no, I agree. I had that on here as well, to tie into that now, since we're going into proposals. The next two of my lows have to do with Lindsay.
Oh.
The bamboo thing. They explained it in the show, but I still feel like it was I'm marking my territory. I didn't like it. Because she did it with Brooke too. And then she was like, even when Brooke like put it on the thing, and she was just like, see, she got it for me too. And I'm like, no, but she's marking her territory with you too. Like, you're not getting that. Like, you're not grasping that. I'm just saying. That's all
I mean, I guess I could see it because she even says, like, you're Brooke Davis.
She edited a novel of a boy who was in love with these two beautiful women that are now back in their lives. And you're telling me that that's not a little bit of it's territory. I'm sorry. She was marking your territory.
I just think she was being nice.
Okay, yes, I think she was being nice, but I still think there was an underlying feeling of like, I'm being nice, but I'm also marking my territory. That's just how I feel. Sorry, I'm very adamant about that. And then my other one about Lindsay is about the proposal, because I feel like when she opened that door and she just, like, the way she did it, it felt like, haha, I'm engaged to him. Like, it just felt that way to me. Did it not? Like, I don't
Wait,
know.
because she opened the door and Peyton's like, Lindsay, I'm so sorry. And she just goes,
Especially after the whole argument, her and like she figured out about.
I also don't know why she would say yes if she found the ring.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then she just had to accept Lucas's like half-assed reason of why he hadn't proposed.
Yeah, after he had just kissed Peyton and made out with her, I was like, what the? That's why I was like, I don't know. That's why I said the whole bamboo thing still felt territorial, because when that scene happens, again, I don't know if that's how they wrote it. I don't know if that's how she chose to deliver it, the actress, but it felt just very like, haha, I have the ring and you don't. Like, even Peyton's face was just like mortified. I was just like, I don't know. So that's how I read it.
It's fair.
It
Peyton
felt
also
that
was
way.
just like, we just had this moment together.
Yeah. So that's where.
But Lucas likes to double down, so it makes sense.
And also to venture back to what I said earlier in this episode was that, like, I didn't really like Lindsay's character. These are the reasons why, because I feel like they were trying to make her nice, like the nice woman. She's understanding. And she did. She caught those moments. But then every once in a while, they would throw those things in there. And I'm like, this is why you're making me not like her. I was like, this is
why I don't like
uh, all right, I'll let you take one now since I've gone on a rant.
That all kind of blends in together. So I have my next few are the Lindsay Peyton dynamic and Lucas not being good enough for Lindsay. So that kind of ties into your proposal. However, I just said my high was her speech to him after.
Yeah.
I do think her speech to him during the proposal was good enough, why he's worthy enough was great.
Mm-hmm.
I hated the Lindsay Peyton dynamic. It was catty. It was stupid. Homegirl, you said no. He's with somebody else. Like, can we just be grown-ups and move on? Why is she a bitch? Why can't Haley have lunch with her? She didn't take Lucas from you.
Mm-hmm.
You guys hadn't talked in so long.
Yeah.
You went to go see him in a book signing months after you guys broke up and saw her give him a kiss on the cheek and just assumed. And they weren't even together at that point.
That is my issue too with TV shows and movies for that matter. Is always the characters seeing something and thinking it's one thing and it's not. I hate that in shows and in movies, but I know it's a part of the formula, but
Yes.
I hate it. I just hate it.
So, and Peyton was just so catty to her for
no reason.
For no reason. Not do anything.
Yeah.
You weren't married to him, like.
But I also kind of enjoyed it because you know why? Because Peyton was always just like the depressing and like dramatic in high school, and it was like the
Hurt people.
Exactly. So to me, to see a little bit of that, like she's giving jabs at Victoria, she's going after Liz. I kind of enjoyed it a little bit just for the.
It was like old Peyton, like when Haley came back from the tour Peyton.
Yes, it was a little bit of like that snarkiness, and I was like, I kind of like that because I can be that way sometimes. So maybe that's why I liked it a little bit because I have a couple sides to me. So maybe that's why I don't. Yeah.
My next one to tie into some of my highs, the adoption lady disliked her. Oh my goodness.
Yes, I wrote the adoption interview was not realistic
No.
at all.
She came in there with an attitude and a preconceived notions about Brooke and well, don't you have drug addicts cycling through your home? Isn't that something you should ask her instead of just taking some random woman's word?
Yeah.
And that's why I like that Brooke had came in and she was like, just like, you are choosing to take this terrible parent's word over mine, and I'm wanting to not do that in having a baby. And like, you might think that this isn't going to work, but she was one in a million. That adoption interview was awful.
Yeah, it was just unrealistic to me in my opinion, just the whole process. Yeah, I didn't like it either. Yeah. So that was, you hit one of my lows as well. I'm tired of the whole Lucas Nathan big bro little bro. It's cringe. I'm tired of it. Like it was fun when they did it like the one or two times in the earlier seasons when they had those moments because it was funny. But now I'm like, you're adults now. Like stop. Like he's 3 months older than you. Like stop. Like
it's not that big of a deal.
And the little brother is taller than the big brother. Like stop it. It's cringe. It's cringe. Just stop it. So that was one of my loves.
Yes.
I only have one more. I don't know.
I have two more.
Okay, so why don't you go? I go. You go.
Okay. So my second to last one is, how is Dan getting out of jail? How did Dan get out of jail? He murdered someone. That also seems unrealistic. Like, do murderers get out of jail? Is that like a thing?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is. I don't know.
Brain in my seat. I
don't know if it happens that quickly. I also don't know. We didn't go through the trial. We didn't go through like the logistics. I don't know.
Because Nathan came to visit him twice. That shows that he is needed outside of jail.
I mean, clearly they needed to have. I like that they kept him on the show. Obviously,
sure.
I think the process probably would have been a little bit longer in real life. Like I think it would have been another decade or so until that was even considered. But at the same time, like Tree Hill, small prison. I don't know. Sure. I don't know how the logistics work in small towns, but I mean that's why crime keeps happening because these criminals make parole or they get out or whatever.
It was not even that he got out of jail, just how quickly he got out of jail. And that they used the fact that Nathan came to visit him once, maybe twice.
Yeah.
Twice, because once when he
was we all know how Dan can swindle his way into somebody's life.
That's true.
And so it's very easy probably for him to finagle the good behavior, making it seem like he's a changed man. I mean,
true.
I mean, look, I even said it. I said, I'm starting to see the change.
Scot-free redemption.
In Dan. Again, not forgiving him for everything that he did, but I'm starting to see that human inside of him. So I'm just like, again, that's a testament to Paul Johansson. He's phenomenal.
That is someone I would love to sit down with in person.
Oh, and have a conversation, like have dinner conversation.
Dinner?
Yes. Hands down.
Tell me everything. I want to know it all.
But yeah, I mean, that's just a testament to him and that he made a horrible character lovable.
That's very true.
And that's on him. That's not on the show or the writing. I mean, that's on him. So good job. Good job, Paul.
Good job, Paul.
My next low has to do with Paul, though.
Oh.
And again, this has nothing to do with him as the actor, but it has to do with the scene that they wrote for him. Dan getting hit by the car scene doesn't make sense. He literally helped the old people on, like, it's the last episode.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And he helps the old couple onto the sidewalk.
And he's waving goodbye.
And he's waving goodbye. He's still talking to them and he gets hit. And then I'm like, and then nobody's there. Like they're already in the building. And then also like, if you're outside of a hospital, wouldn't someone have seen that? Or wouldn't they have said, a man just got hit by a car and somebody's like rushing out?
I guess, yeah, because all that is Nanny Carey is the one who hits him.
Yes, but
and
I'm like,
takes him away, but
but he's a big man. She's not lifting him into his car, into her car
in
that
front of
easily
the hospital.
in front of the hospital. This is what I'm saying. It's just unreal.
Also, the people you're waving to would have seen this occur.
What I would have liked to seen was a like we see
He's late
him
at
the
night
next season
walking.
because obviously that was the end of the season. That was the cliffhanger, right? So what I would have liked to seen is we open up on season 6. He's in the hospital, maybe.
And she takes him to
She
the hospital.
she pretends to be like an EMT or something, like
Or a
finagles her
nurse.
way into the a nurse gets him out of there on a gurney, whatever. Like I would have preferred, I think, that a little bit. Still showing like a flashback of like she's the one who hit him, and then they
To get him
kill
into
her
the
off to
hospital.
get him into the hospital. I think that would have been a more realistic storyline for me. I would just like no,
Well, they talk about that in the podcast too, that there's just some plot holes on
yeah,
lazy writing
yes,
or not very good writing to it wouldn't be that hard to think of just shoot him in a real hospital,
Mhm.
show her pushing him out of the hospital, and then,
Yes,
he's in her house or whatever.
yeah.
That's fair. I can see that.
But again, we're also not supposed to know this thing here. So sorry, spoiler alert for the next season. I dropped it. Sorry, I apologize,
We
but
had a lot of spoilers.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's kind of hard when you're doing a recap of the show,
Yeah.
but yeah. So that was my last. That was my last low.
All right. I had my last.
Okay, let's hear it.
My last low is that Millie being a virgin. Not so much that Millie is a virgin. I think that is fine. It was the fact that when she told Mouth that's why she didn't want to live with him, he just looked at her and was like, I hit the jackpot. I found a pure, wonderful angel. And how did I get so lucky?
Yeah, I think he could have still.
Blah.
I think he still could have made it sound like I'm so lucky because I found a woman with morals. I think it was just
It was
way
like her virtue.
Yeah, they made it.
Which was very big on the producer's
Yeah.
part. So again, going back to the producer, but I didn't like that whole dynamic. And then to flash forward even further, when she does decide to give her virginity away or do that for the first time, and he like has some weird possessive control over that was his. No, sir, no, it was not. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that storyline.
No, I agree. I didn't like it either. There was I was thinking about it when you were talking. Now I lost it in my head, but
But I also love the Mouth Millie relationship as a whole.
yeah,
I loved them finding each other. I loved that she was, the nerdy cute that when she takes her glasses off, she's really this total babe.
but I also thought like her reaction of like moving in with him was like just because that's that doesn't mean you can't move in with somebody.
Right. You mean tell me to spend a night over there? What would change?
Yeah, like
So,
I don't know. So yeah, I
but
agree.
I also have to remember that they're 22, 23 in this interaction. So her being like,
yeah. And
I'm
again,
supposed to live with him.
I think, like you said, like I think because Mount's character was based solely on he who shall not be named.
Yes.
Since it's loosely based on him, it makes sense why that storyline was written the way that it was. And I think again, like you said, the way it's just the way he writes Mount reacting to these things and how he's saying it because Mouth could still be hurt by it and have that reaction of when she did. It's just the way it comes across as like possessive, where it should have been more like, that was something that I thought we were going to share together that was going to be special for you.
Yeah.
Like that could have been a better approach versus like that was mine.
Yeah.
No, it's not yours. It's hers.
Yeah.
To give away if she wants. Yeah. But like
y'all are together.
yes. And same with like what they talked about in this season with the moving in and how he's saying like I hit the jackpot because you're so precious and untouched. And it's like, no, it could have just been like, how did I get so lucky to find a woman who has strong morals and
Right.
stands on business? And yeah,
tie it back
like
to the thing that he told Rachel, I'm like, I'm gonna find an elite girl. Like he could have called her elite, and it would have changed the entire tone of their conversation.
Yeah, it's the way they make Mouth possessive. Like, sorry, Lee. Sorry you had to do that.
Lee is wonderful. Lee as a whole. But Mouth in later seasons, I think you really see the producer come out in his character. And that's why I liked Mouth less and less and less as we went.
Do you think maybe that's why sometimes Mouth's storylines got to be worse than they were? Because he used to question things. I feel like even like he talked about it on the podcast. I feel like he used to question things like earlier on in the earlier seasons.
He got
his character.
They put him in a fat suit.
Yeah. So I was like, I wonder if like that was like
Punished.
The producer just liked to punish people that gave him a hard time. So
Because when I found out all of that stuff, it was more like I don't know if I want to watch this show anymore. But I'm so thankful he gave us what we did. But I think that that's a testament to the wonderful actors
Yeah.
who were in an awful situation and still made something so magical.
Yeah. Because again, like there's so much negativity around the creator of the show, but yet we all still love the show. And it's like you said, it's because of the actors that they hired, what they brought to it. So I agree. All right. I think that's it for season 5. It was a good one. I enjoyed it.
We hope that you enjoyed it too.
So we're gonna continue. We talked about some storylines that kind of feed into season 6. So we'll get into that next episode. And yeah, we'll see you guys there. Bye, guys.